Hey, happy Tuesday. It's about 3 o'clock Pacific time on Tuesday, May 7th, and we have our new moon tonight at about 8:22 p.m. Pacific time. So we're about a little over 5 hours away from the new moon. And so we're at that very tail end of this lunar cycle that began with the solar eclipse in Aries way back on April 8th. And it's interesting because I'm starting to feel the newness. I'm starting to really feel that Taurus energy. The moon has been in Taurus all day, moved in yesterday afternoon, I think. Met up with Venus, a really nice feeling tone, a mood of the day, if you will. And so with this new moon in Taurus, we have Venus, then the sun and the moon, then Uranus, then Jupiter, all in the sign of Taurus. And this new moon is going to be at 18 degrees. And the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction was at 22 degrees, so very close to where that happened. So this next lunar cycle, beginning here in Taurus, is going to carry forward some of the themes of that Jupiter and Uranus, that awakening to new learning, new expansion, new abundance around Taurus themes. So Taurus, as our fixed earth sign, is very much about embodiment, about our physical bodies, about the earth as a body, about our natures, about our resources, and about pleasure and how we feel being in physical bodies on the planet. The catchphrase for Taurus is I have. Like I have all of my sensory awareness. I have my body. I have Taurus themes have to do with our resources or the resources we can access. You might find themes during the Taurus season about your money or about physical resources and about how well you are being a steward for those resources, how well you are taking care of your finances or your things, what you have. Taurus is also about our values, like what we hold as important and valuable. So yes, our resources like money and physical property, but also our values, things that are important to us, other things that we appreciate, and how we are tending to them, how we are stewarding what's important to us. Think about that phrase, put your money where your mouth is. If you say something's important to you, you invest in it. You take action. And this is a good lunar cycle to consider what's important to you in your life and to consider and appreciate what you do have and to look at putting energy into nourishing and growing the relationships in your life, the resources you have. So another Taurus has to do with relationships as well. And I love the word nourishment here because it's really about tending to helping to grow. Like we water plants, we give them fertilizer. That's nourishing to help grow plants or a crop for our bodies. What we feed ourselves, how we hydrate, like that very basic elemental kind of nourishment. Um, there was a meme about half a glass of water and sit in the sun. You're basically a house plant with thoughts, you know. But taking it back to basics is also kind of a Taurus theme of like, what are those um, fundamental and elemental needs, and how are we taking care of them? I'd say. Because Taurus is so much about our senses and being in a body, this is a month to really pay attention to what brings you pleasure And this lunar cycle is starting here at 18 degrees Taurus. So only the next 12 days, the sun will be in Taurus while the moon is doing its Taurus lunar cycle. Then the sun will move into Gemini and we'll have a Gemini sun as the Taurus lunar cycle finishes. So this is what we've had all year, where partway through the lunar cycle, the sun changes signs. And that adds a layer of complexity. I'll talk about Gemini sun season when we get there. But my point in bringing that in is that the full moon for Taurus is going to be with the moon in Sagittarius, sun in Gemini. So the seeds that we plant at this Taurus new moon will come to fullness when the moon is in Sagittarius. And that will highlight for us what we believe, what we see as our worldview, what we have faith in. And I think that's going to echo these themes of value and importance, what matters to us. Literally, what matters is a Taurus question. Matter as like the earth element, and valuing that. And so, recommendations for the next 5 hours or so is to rest, is to find some way to easily, simply complete this last lunar cycle of this maybe all that you've become aware of, all you've learned, all you've done during the Aries lunar cycle. During that Aries lunar cycle, we had a lot of big things happen. The eclipse, the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, Mercury retrograde in Aries. Mercury is still finishing up that shadow period. It's with Chiron in the sky. So Mercury and Chiron together are having us think about what are the healing gifts of this Mercury cycle? What's different in our thinking about who we are, what we want, and how we act or how we're behaving, how we're motivated. Very Aries questions. So most of our planets are in Taurus and Aries right now. We still have Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, and Pluto's back in Aquarius. But the most of the action is in Aries and Taurus. So who I am Aries, what I have Taurus. And I feel like that I am is that instinctual sense of being. And then in Taurus, it gets grounded and becomes more real. Becoming more real. Like the Velveteen Rabbit. We become more real with love. Taurus is a sign associated with love because it's ruled by Venus. So you might ponder that question. How can I become more real this month? More real to myself, more real in my relationships, more real in my life. I think I'll leave you with that question. I hope you have a really good new moon. Any kind of ritual that feels right to you. Maybe it's simply lighting a candle and thinking of an intention, or feeling the gratitude for what you do have in your life and what does matter to you. Okay, have a great rest of your day, evening, and wishing you all the best and many blessings for the lunar cycle ahead. Take care.